John McAllister with the McAllister Scouting Report. And today I'm going to talk with one of the better top recruits in the 2023 class, Michael Kilbane from Lakewood St. Ed's. He's a defensive end, 6'4", 240, someplace in there. He's a heavyweight wrestler, finished fourth in the state, and he plays for St. Ed's, Lakewood St. Ed's football. Impressed with him. He's articulate, and on the football field, I'm impressed with him because he can run, he can hit, he plays with a big-time motor, and he's just going to get better and better. I think he's one of the better football players, one of the better prospects in the 2023 class. I know he's gotten quite a few offers and he's made some trips and tons of potential. Looking forward to talking with him. Thank you. Just sit back and watch my podcast with Lakewood St. Ed's Michael Kilbane. Michael Kilbane from St. Edward's High School. How are you today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm really good. I'm good. You're playing defensive end, and I told you before we came on, to preface everything, I think you're one of the best players in your class, one of the top players, prospects in your class. You do a lot of things well. You're a good football player, really good. And you play on a good team with good coaching and tough guys. Mm-hmm. So you're all set, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Let's go football first, and then I'll come back to wrestling. Why football? What makes football so good, Michael?
Well, I've grown up in a football family. For me, my dad, he played pretty high. He played at Miami of Ohio, then got a little bit of pro action. My brother, in high school, he was first team All-State and all that. I think he had 16 or so offers coming out of high school. He's playing at Akron now.
Was his name Steve?
It was Brian.
Oh, no, that's right. Yeah, I remember that. I mean, I've done this a long, long time. Yeah, good. Yeah. He's Akron, huh?
Yeah, he's there now.
I cut you off. So tell me about why football? Because of that? What else?
So family obviously was big into it. As I like going into high school, I liked both wrestling and football a lot. They're like I probably like football a little bit more, but they're like more even as at that point. But like going in, it's just like the brotherhood in football, like especially at St. Ed's, I feel like we have like such like a tight like group of players that like all push each other to be the best that we can. So I feel like that like environment is something that like I've really like been able to strive in, and like I just feel like that just grew my love for the game even more than it was as when I was a kid.
Super. Then tell me, you're a two-sport guy. Obviously, the people that know you finished fourth in the state in heavyweight, right?
Yeah.
And a couple of guys that beat you were pretty good too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't think it was a slouch or anything like that, or
a
stiff that beat you. Okay, how do you work the two? Wrestling and football. How do you work those together? Because I know players that do both. So how do you do it? How do you maintain both sports?
So really just after wrestling season, right back into football. I think I took one day off. Then the next day and all the way up until now I've been working. So that's like the football off season, just working all the way up until the season for next year, like as soon as after wrestling ends. So go through the football process just like that.
Okay.
Then wrestling, usually because last year what I did, I took like a 2-week break or so to let my body kind of like recuperate before I go, because like at that point I came back like mid-December or so back into practicing. At that point, like they're already like in stride, like the team, they're in full go. So I need like a little bit to like catch get my conditioning back, like wrestling, because like wrestling shape and football shape are two completely different things.
Too complete.
Yeah, it's like pretty hard. It's hard to build wrestling shape, so I need like that time to like get back into the gear of just like wrestling constantly. But yeah, that's a grind with that. Yeah, so pretty much that's it. After wrestling, I go right into football, like a week or two break, back into wrestling.
Good.
Yeah, when I'm in football season, I don't do a whole lot of wrestling stuff. And when I'm in wrestling season, I don't do a whole lot of football stuff. I kind of like concentrate just on what I'm doing,
That's
and then
good.
I'll like leave all the stuff up until after the season for the other sport.
That's good. Who's been kind of a driving force behind you? Who's been there? Who's motivated you or patted you on the butt or kicked you in the butt, whatever? Who's done that for you? Anybody that you give credit to for helping you move along?
Yeah, the most credit I give to for me, this is an easy question to answer. It's my dad, like 100%. He's been training me and my brother ever since we were in first, second grade. To be great football players. He's been training us. He's always been like obviously I have some other people who like help motivate me, but my dad's really the one who is like the motivator. He's not like super, super hard, but like he like just pushes me to be my best on constantly. And like I feel like just like his him like laying like the foundation for me and my brother has kind of like given us that edge like to like compete to
what, Michael, and I call it words to live by, or words you live by. I have posters. I mean, I have little signs, even at 73 years old, and I get after it. And I want to drive myself. What words do you live by? What what like be the best or anything like that? Do you know what I mean?
What do you mean, just like a slogan or something?
Yeah, that would be a cliche or slogan or a cliche or something like that. Your locker room walls have them and things. Anything like that?
The first one that comes to mind for me would just be compete, like plain and simple. Yeah. If I had to make a slogan for like my like take on sports and really like anything, it's just like I would say compete, plain and simple, because like I feel like one thing, like my dad has always like ingrained that like competitive attitude into me, and then also wrestling. Wrestling, I've been wrestling ever since kindergarten, and I feel like that competitive nature I've just like always like had. I try to be like, I'm not trying to like be like not humble about it, but I feel like that's just like one thing that I always do. Like whenever I'm doing something, I compete. Like when it comes to like any like aspect of like football, like sprints at the end of practice,
Well,
just like drills.
you've had some success, so you're allowed to be a little bit self-confident. Okay. Well, I'm good. You're good.
Yeah.
No, I mean, okay.
Yeah.
My first silly question. If you could hang out with somebody one whole day, preferably a sports guy, but it doesn't matter, who would you hang out with? From 6 o'clock in the morning till 10 o'clock at night, who would you hang out with?
If I had to pick one, I'd probably just say Tom Brady. It's actually kind of weird because I've always like rooted against Tom Brady, but because like it's gotten to a point where like he wins it almost every time. Yeah, I mean he's the greatest football player of all time in my eyes. He's got the most rings, more rings than any other team in the NFL franchise. So for me, I feel like Tom Brady being like the greatest player in my opinion for the sport that I play, I feel like that would just be like a really cool experience.
Good. Okay. Let's see. Grades are good, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think about majoring in?
I'd probably say something in the business field.
Okay.
I would have said something either in business or engineering, but I feel like engineering, once you get to the college level, would be like a little bit hard to manage time. And also I'm pretty interested in like the business aspect of things. So I feel like that's something that would suit me well.
Okay, we talked about football, and let's go back to football. What are your strengths as a football player?
I feel like well, at least what like colleges that have been recruiting me tell me. I'm just gonna say what they tell me. They say like the favorite things that they see about me are my motor that I play with, my usage of hands, and just like effort in a way like that. I feel like that's something I kind of pride myself on, and that's like that's not even just me. That's like my entire team, because I feel like if you watch our film last year as a team, it's kind of cool because like almost every single play, all 11 guys are running to the ball, and that's something that our D coordinator, Coach Pappas, has really like ingrained in us. Just play with maximum effort, and we get like we have like a system called loafs where we'd have to run or do up downs if you loaf on a play, and we do have like a pretty strict like standard for that. So it's just the standard is to compete, and I feel like the effort and motor in that system that he coaches with, I feel like my effort and motor has really just like strived.
What do you have to work on then, Michael? You have to improve on.
For me, I want to, because I used to play linebacker. That used to be my main position, so I'm still like,
right.
I've transitioned to a DN, but I'm still like kind of like new to it a little bit. I want to get better on my bend. I do feel like I got a lot better on my bend since when I first started.
You're good so far. I'm agreeing with you. I'm going to tell you what I think in a minute, but go ahead. What else?
I want to say my hand usage. I still feel like I feel like my instincts at the end are pretty good, but sometimes when I'm playing inside, I feel like I just want to have like better like reactions to like where get like a better feel to where the ball's going.
Right.
Although as the year went on last year, I feel like I got a lot better at that. So I think it's a lot of the things that I want to improve on kind of just happen as I get more practice at the end.
Okay. Here's what I would tell you. Okay. Of course, I saw you play last year. Did you play some as a sophomore? I was thinking you did on varsity.
I played a little bit, but no significant reps.
Okay, I just thought I saw you. But anyway, you have to work on your initial quickness to be where you want to be, but you really have violent hands. I think your hands are good. And the thing that you do is get off of blocks and make tackles. Now, there are some guys that get off of blocks, but they don't make tackles or they don't finish. And you're able to finish. I call it, they say you play with energy. That's true. But finishing is so huge. And I've watched you finish in the pursuit on the other side of the field. Okay. And then when one thing you do well too is if it's a straight line and you don't have to hit anybody around, you have really good quickness. I mean, if there's and that's not a negative at all.
Yeah.
But I think those things are good, and I get better at disengaging. But I still think if you go to a practice at the college level, that violent hands and stuff like that's huge. But and you're going to get, and the other thing is you just play with energy, and that's what you were talking about your dad, but you play with your motor, and not everybody does that. Now, here's the trouble at St. Ed's, though. Now, your coach is a good friend of mine. You just put 3 deep, fast guys back at safety in both corners, and then everybody else just runs to the ball. I mean, blitzes and everything. So you're crazy. I mean, I'm joking with you, but there's a little truth to that.
Yeah, there is.
You just count on that front 8 to cause problems, and you do. But I mean. Yeah. Good, your linebackers and everybody, and you guys. Okay, I just think that those things and you're going to get bigger. You weigh 245 now?
Right now, I'm about in that 240 to 245 range. I was up to 250 before, but I lost a lot of that weight during wrestling, but I'm putting it back on now.
Don't get much bigger than 245. Let the colleges put your weight on and stuff like that. Your strength.
Yeah.
It's good. Okay, we talked about that. Here's a silly question. What talent would you like to have, but you don't have and you'll never get? What talent would you like? And it could be anything. Playing the piano, I don't know, singing, dancing, ballroom.
I wish I'd be able to like. I don't like dance off. I feel like I wish I was able to, because like I feel like it would just be like something kind of cool to do. But I've just never really been into that, so I feel like I just kind of look awkward when I do. But I wish I was able to.
Okay, that's good. That's a silly question.
Yeah.
Now, tell me the best thing about playing football. We've talked about it a little bit. In a short sentence, what's the best thing about it?
Playing for the culture of my school.
Yeah, that's good. And you guys, St. Ed's, obviously, I see you guys play every year, and you usually in Cincinnati, you guys go down there and play, and you sure represent your school well. And I think that's huge.
I feel like we really like play for each other. Like it's like bigger than just a sport. Like we're like playing for something bigger too.
Yeah, that's good. What did you guys finish last year? What was your record?
15-1.
Who beat you? Were you in the championship game and got beat?
No, we won it, but we lost to Moeller in week 9.
Oh, okay. Moeller beat. That's right.
Yeah.
I true respect your football, your team, and St. Ed's football. Okay, I have a couple more questions. You're going into your senior year. Was there ever a time when you just, in your career so far, where you just said, "Hey, man, I got to step it up. I got to get after. I got to take it to the next level"? Was there ever a time like that you can remember where you said, "It's time to get after it"? Did you any time like that?
I'd say probably like my late sophomore year, when I wasn't really getting a lot of varsity action. I felt like I just like worked a lot hard. I worked hard before that, but like I feel like that was like something that kind of like stuck with me. Like I wanted to like be at the varsity like level, like helping the team win.
Right.
And there's like really good players ahead of me, but I just felt like it irked me a little bit that I couldn't like help the team and everything. But I felt like that did motivate me a lot.
And to make you a better football player, right? I mean, to work harder. Okay.
Yeah, it did help me. It did help me work harder. It was just something like I wish I was there, able to like help the team in a bigger role. But the guys ahead of me were really good and had like more experience at the position, because I just switched. And then it's like I was like pretty solid my sophomore year, but I just switched to D end in the middle of the year. Because I was playing linebacker before, and we had like multiple D1 guys at linebacker, so it was just like hard to like crack the starting lineup in that role. So I just kind of switched mid-year.
Probably 2 more questions. Football is about energy, okay? What kind of energy, or sports is about energy? What kind of energy do you bring to your team? Going into your senior year now, what kind of energy, what would you bring to the team?
I feel like my teammates would agree with me that they know that when I line up, I'm going to give it my all every play. I might make mistakes or something. We all do. But I'm not gonna like I'm not gonna make a mistake with because of a lack of effort I'd make. If I make a mistake, it's gonna be because just like going like really hard. But I feel like that energy is something that a lot of my teammates bring. We know that we're gonna play for each other to the best of our ability.
That's really huge. Okay, what's your best quality? Let's get away from sports. What's your best quality, your personality? What's your best quality? Mine, I always say, is honesty and loyalty. I'll be loyal to you, and I'll sure the heck be honest. So those are qualities that I think I have. at old age 73. But what's your best quality? What am I going to look for if I recruit you?
I feel like I'm a pretty loyal and committed person. Like when I like set my mind to do something, I'm gonna do like everything in my power to try and achieve that goal. And I like at some points I'm loyal to a fault, but I'm just like really loyal, I would say.
Yeah, that's super. Okay, what about camps? How will you? I guess I don't care where you're. How do you handle camps? There's so many camps out there. How are you going to handle it? You're not. Did you go down to the Under Armour camp or one of those camps?
No, I didn't go to those.
There's
So
nothing. There's nothing wrong with not going. By the way, okay.
yeah. Um, the reason I'm not going to like many like showcase camps is mainly because I don't want to risk injury because I know people I went to one last year and this one kid who I was friends with, he tore his ACL, I think, and that kind of like spooked me out. So I don't want to get injured and I don't want to get injured in one of those camps. I have a lot of respect for everyone who does those, but for me, I don't want to risk injury and something like that. But for college camps wise, I might go to some camps of schools that I have high interest in. I'm not sure as of where
Okay.
my mind would be thinking with that is. But I might be going to some camps like that, just with like schools that I would get to work with coaches.
Go where the decision makers are.
Yeah.
Go where the decision makers are. If you're going to blow out your knee, or you go where people have seen you, and trust me, I've done this for a long, long time. But that's so important. Okay. Well, you've done a great job. There seems like there's one more question. I can't think what it was right now, but I really appreciate you taking the time to do this. Okay.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me on.
Okay.